Hi and welcome back. Now we're talking about stage 4 of the post-op diet. So stage 4 is approximately 1 month after surgery, 31 days after surgery, and now you're actually moving to solid food. So you definitely will need a food scale at this time. And you stay in stage 4 um, until you lose approximately 75% of your excess weight. Now, somebody in the office will actually tell you when to go to stage 5. So you'll stay in stage 4, which basically in stage 4, all foods come back in stage 4, except for starches and sugars. So slowly but surely, what stage 4 is bringing back variety back into your diet. And we talked about this before, but your stomach is like a balloon, so it relaxes, it does stretch a little bit. So it starts, when you first have surgery, it's somewhere between 1 to 3 ounces, and about a year after surgery, it'll be approximately around 6 ounces. So slowly but surely, you'll be able to increase your portions a little bit. So in your book, of course, remember each stage has the box where it tells you how much you can eat. So when you first progress from stage 3 to stage 4, you're just changing from soft solids to solid foods. And so you want to start at that 1 ounce. So you're going to start at 1 ounce of protein, but you'll slowly over time eventually get up to 3 ounces of protein. 3 ounces of protein is equivalent to about 20 grams of protein. So start at 1 and slowly work your way up to 3. Of course, your 1 serving of healthy fats. And this is depending on your surgery and your sensitivities to fats. You'll just listen to your body and progress as tolerated. Again, you're doing a fruit or a vegetable per meal. And then if needed, your protein supplements. So if you only need 60 to 80 grams of protein a day, once you get up to the 3 ounces of protein at one sitting, that's 20 grams times 3. So that is your 60 grams. So a protein supplement is something you add to because you're not getting enough from food. But at some point, some of you, depending on what surgery, you may not need a supplement anymore. So once you're getting your baseline protein needs from food, what's going to happen is either you'll get rid of the protein supplement, you don't need it anymore, or it might replace a meal. So at some point, you might just have your protein shake for breakfast or your protein shake for dinner instead of the actual food, and that's fine as well. And then if you're somebody who needs the 80 to 100 grams of protein a day, more than likely you'll do your 3 meals and at least do 1 protein supplement a day to be able to get that 100 grams of protein in. Of course, you're going to have your grocery list. And like I said, stage 4 is all about bringing more variety back in. So, and just remember what we talked about before as well is when you're trying something new, you always want to just do 1 ounce at a time and only 1 food at a time. So if you try something or bring something in and you take in a small amount, what you'll notice is if it's not sitting right, it'll either agitate your gut or your mouth will start to water, and you'll know that it's not right for right now. And usually what you want to do is wait a week or 2 and then reintroduce the food again. Now, there are quite a few foods that are a stage 4, but we want you to wait a little while just because they're harder to break down. So we already discussed that you want to slowly increase to 3 ounces of protein 3 times a day. So the foods that are more difficult to break down and we want you to wait, so red meat, so beef and steak, harder to digest. So it is a stage 4, but we want you to wait a minimum of 3 months before you try to bring that in. Nuts and seeds. Also, nuts and seeds are a healthy fat and also a stage 4, but again, harder to digest. So also with any type of nut or seed, we want you to wait 3 months before you introduce those. All of your processed fats like bacon, sausage, salami, bologna, pastrami, pepperoni, even some hot dogs, they're considered processed fats, so there's not a lot of nutritional value in these things. So if you're barely getting in 1 ounce of protein, like let's say an egg, you don't really want to be bringing in processed fat like bacon at this time. So processed meats are down the road, probably 6 months or after, and especially also with like the loop, the standard DS, distal revision, you guys are sensitive to fat. So these also can trigger the severe uncontrollable diarrhea. So these foods are okay in moderation, but I would say more like 6+ months down the road. Corn, peas, and potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, these are all starches. So starches are a stage 5. So you're not going to do, so there's no corn, no peas, no potatoes, no yams, no sweet potatoes in stage 4. You can reintroduce these foods in stage 5. And raw celery tends to get stuck because it's stringy. So you want to stay away from raw celery. Obviously, you want to be able to do cooked vegetables before you bring raw vegetables in. So raw vegetables, again, harder to digest. So see how well you're tolerating cooked vegetables, and then you can slowly progress. I will say lettuce, salads tend to be a little bit harder to digest, especially for gastric bypass. So I would encourage you waiting probably somewhere between 4 to 6 months before you try to introduce lettuce or a lot of your raw vegetables in. Citrus fruits, because skin is hard to digest, like the skin on fruits and vegetables, all skin has to be removed. Even like like if you peel an orange and then you have that white membrane, all of that has to be removed for the first 3 months. So no skin on fruits and vegetables for 3 months. Obviously, your less fibrous, less gassy vegetables are going to be the ones that you want to start with. So like your green beans, carrots, squashes, and that's those softer non-fibrous vegetables. And that's why you saw those in the beginning stages. And the same thing with the fruits. And then around 3 to 4 months is when you can start bringing in more of your fibrous fruits and vegetables. So things usually like all your lean and green. So all the vegetables we would normally tell you to do now, like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they're harder to digest. They're gassy. So we want you to wait a minimum of 3 months before bringing these in. And this is all going to be in your nutrition book that you have. So when you get to stage 4, just make sure you look at the list and remind yourself of this, there's those specific foods that we want you to wait 3 to 4 months before bringing in. So this is what a day might look like. Honestly, this much food is probably a year out. So eating this much at one time. So of course, this one is a crustless quiche with spinach and cheese. You have your turkey and cheese rolled up, and see how we peeled the peach, and then you're just having your 1 ounce. So just a couple of pieces. This is a turkey burger with avocado to get some healthy fat in. And then if needed, your 1 or 2 protein supplements a day and another healthy fat here to get your 3 servings of healthy fats. So this is what a day might look like. So stage 4, solid foods. You stay in stage 4 until you lose 75% of your excess weight. So what that means is absolutely no starches, no sugars. A lot of times I'll get questions like, can I have Skinny Pop popcorn? No. Even if it's a low carb, like even your low carb tortillas, things like that, because it takes up space and your stomach is really small. So in the beginning, if you're filling up with low carb tortillas or Skinny Pop popcorn, things like that, I can promise you, you're not getting your protein and healthy fats. And because your intake, especially that first 6 to 8 months, your intake is very minuscule, it's very small. You got to remember, you want to get the highest nutritional density. And so in order, it's proteins, healthy fats, then fruits and vegetables, and then your vitamins. So always remember that there's that synergistic effect of proteins and healthy fats together.